Hi everybody. So a quick agricultural update. These are our blueberries. The bush in the middle is actually a low bush huckleberry plant, and these two are rabbit eyes, the ones on the ends. Something else we don't talk about much this time of year is our asparagus. This is what asparagus looks like after it's ferned out. And so right now, none of this is edible, but the Japanese beetles have kind of taken over. So every day I come down and I suck them into a vacuum cleaner, a battery operated vacuum, and I give them all to the chickens. So it's a real boost for them. This is our lasagna bed. It's also called a no-till garden, this little part here. And so what it is a great big compost pile, but we use it to grow our candy roaster squash, which probably won't be ready until late summer. So these will just keep growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger. And if you're going to do candy roasters, I recommend a lasagna bed because it seems to be the best way to do it out of everything we've tried. So these are our tomatoes. I build little cages for them out of the welded fencing, and I think this year we have 24 tomato plants, and they seem to be doing pretty good now. These are our squash, and the squash are doing great. We're going to have way more squash than we can ever eat, so we'll be donating a lot of squash to feeding programs and what have you, and hopefully make a few friends of our neighbors. And then so there's 2 rows of squash here. I think this is about a 50-foot row. This field corn here is called Hickory King, and it's especially good for just being a pole for growing beans on. We also give a little bit of that corn to our chickens, and they like it really well. I had to build a little trellis for those beans there because the corn didn't survive these Gallant soldier weeds. Here are the Gallant soldier weeds, and we don't use any herbicides, so the Gallant soldier weeds just take over a garden. So the squash and the corn and the climbing beans tend to keep up out of the weeds. They outgrow the weeds, so we can still grow those things over here. Notice over here our tomato plants, we just have to kind of mow. The Gallant soldiers, they'll get almost waist high and they'll choke everything out. So instead of pulling up weeds on that much open space, we just use a push mower and to try to keep them from blocking the sunlight. They might be using the soil, but they're not blocking the sunlight. So my son picked these up to make some shelves for his garage, and then found out it was an incomplete kit. And so we were going to, he asked me to throw them away for him, take them to the dump, and I'm like, no, I think I can use these for my cucumbers. So, we're setting up little tents for them to climb as a trellis, and cucumbers are doing good, except for right in here where I think it was a groundhog must have come and chewed off the ends of these. So they're coming back, there's new growth, and hopefully we'll get a few cucumbers even on that end. On this end, they're growing like gangbusters, and I'm really bullish on making pickles this year. So this is our little okra patch, and each of these okra plants, if you can see them, are pretty healthy, but the Gallant soldier weeds are pretty bad through here too. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm, you know, getting the ones from around this little one on the end. We should have way more okra than we can eat from this little patch. This is where I had a compost heap that we actually dumped on the other garden. But, having the compost here for a while meant that a lot of nutrients soaked into the ground. And I was hoping we could grow good okra here, and it looks like we can. So, wish us luck. We got a 16-foot long piece of hog wire and cut the ends off so we'd have barbs to stick in the ground. And we're hoping that the cucumbers on both sides will climb up, and it should be really easy to pick cucumbers. Should make them easier to find. We had peas over here, but there was a problem. I think I need to put them on a ridge next year. The whole length of this row here are pole beans, and I need to get in here and run some strings down to give the vines more places to grow. And until then, I'll be trying to train the vines up to the next post, and hopefully we'll have quite a few beans here. This will be probably enough beans for us, but we have some more growing on the other side of that tree line over there in front of the house too. So hopefully we'll be eating beans all summer and maybe save back 30 or 40 quarts. That's what the goal is anyway. So our last stop here are the apple trees. We have 15 of them. This is kind of a lean year, and in lean years the crows still want their full share. So we're hoping that there'll be enough to satisfy the crows and maybe get a batch of apple butter out of it. But we'll have to wait and see. We planted these 8-9 years ago, the bigger ones, and these smaller ones we've planted a little more recently, but they've provided a little bit of food for us, and so we're grateful. Anyway, that's our agricultural update. Thanks for listening.